Hi there. Today I'm going to be talking about blood alcohol concentration, or BAC. And so the very first thing we need to do is clarify what we mean when we talk about a standard drink. So in the United States, one drink would be considered zero point 0.6 ounces of pure alcohol. And I'm going to give you three different examples of what that would look like. So first of all, let's say we're talking about beer as our first idea here. And so beer typically comes in a bottle or a glass. And let's give that a 12-ounce bottle, okay? And then let's just, for the sake of the example, say a regular beer is going to be about 5% alcohol content. And if you multiply those together, that's how you're going to get to that 0.6 ounces. Now, keeping in mind, if you're looking at different types of beers that are out there now, there can be a huge range of variation in how much alcohol is actually in there, so that can be a significant difference. All right, then as a second example, let's go ahead and pull up our wine glass and put that on the board here. And so for our wine glass, one glass of wine is going to be considered 5 ounces. And just like with the beer, there can be significant variations in the content, but let's say a typical wine would be about 12%. And so again, that's going to get you right back to that 0.6 ounces or one standard drink. Again, keeping in mind, the amount of alcohol that's actually in there could be different. So if you have a bartender or somebody at a party who's a very generous pourer, there might actually be quite a bit more than that. So something to keep in mind, could be more than one drink. All right, then let's take a third and final example of what a standard drink would look like. And for that, we're going to talk about a mixed drink or a cocktail. And that actually contains the same amount of alcohol as would a shot, and that would be 1.5 ounces. So an example like this, we might be looking at, say, gin, vodka, or if it was a shot of whiskey or something like that, you're going to be looking at alcohol content right around 40%. And so once again, just like with the other examples, that gets us to one standard drink, which is the 0.6 ounces of alcohol. So how does this all translate into actual blood alcohol content and BAC? How does it affect it? Because that's what's significant. There are differences between men and women, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So for example, if you have a male, and let's say this male weighs about 180 pounds, if he has 3 drinks, he's going to get his BAC up to about a 0.06. And so in very broad terms, men per drink are getting about 0.02. That's an approximation. Weight is a significant factor that's going to change that, and everybody's metabolism is a little bit different, but that's a decent approximation per drink. Comparing that to a woman having the same 3 drinks, same 180 pounds, all right, her 3 drinks are going to affect her more. She's going to go to about a 0.08 or a 0.09. So very broadly speaking, women per drink are getting approximately 0.03. It's raising their BAC about 0.03. Now, 2 quick reasons to describe that difference. Men have a little bit more of an enzyme called ADH, or alcohol dehydrogenase, in their stomach, so it already breaks down some of that alcohol, a process we call first pass metabolism, before they even get it in their bloodstream. Also, men tend to be made up of more water weight, so they get a little bit of dilution, and so their BAC doesn't go up as much per drink. So you see that's a pretty significant difference, the 0.03 versus the 0.02. Another thing we should talk about is our livers. So this is going to be a terrible drawing of your liver, but if you imagine that is your liver, this is where all the alcohol is actually being metabolized. So once alcohol goes into our system and we get our blood alcohol up to a certain level, the liver's got to do all the work to get rid of it. And if you're taking medications, if you have any kind of other liver impairment, that can actually slow down how fast we metabolize quite a bit. There is an old formula that you will hear people describe that you're able to metabolize about 1 drink in 1 hour. Unfortunately, though, the liver isn't quite that efficient, even in healthy people. So this is not actually correct. It really takes more like an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half to metabolize each drink. So in the case of the woman who even has just the 1 drink and goes up to a 0.03, that's actually going to take her about 2 hours to get rid of that drink. So 0.015 is about how fast our liver gets rid of a drink, or lowers our BAC, I should say, every hour. So you can see if somebody has a blood alcohol level 0.06, 0.09, it's going to be taking them many, many hours to get rid of that. Even imagine somebody goes to sleep at night and wakes up early the next morning. They could have a blood alcohol level maybe even over the legal limit by the next day. All right, so we've had a chance to look at some of the different types of alcohol, what equals a standard drink, see how some different factors play into our blood alcohol level, particularly a person's gender, person's weight being significant, of course, how much alcohol they consume, and then the very important issue of time and how fast we're able to metabolize alcohol. I hope you found this useful and informative, and thank you.